Welcome to Sensor Noise, a podcast about photography and technology, especially this week because it is
CES.
It is CES. How's your CES?
My CES, it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
Here on the show floor, etc.
Did you see that TV that suction cups itself to the wall?
I did, and I'm afraid of that.
That seems unwise. Yes.
Yeah. If you didn't see this thing, it's a TV from a company called Displace. And it's a 4K OLED 55-inch TV that apparently is wireless and had a battery.
Oh, that also seems not good.
Not really sure how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got 4 big suction cups on the back, and I guess you just gotta stick it to the wall, and that's it, I guess.
You sure do. I
don't know. I don't know about this one.
True. I'm just reading. This is Displace.tv. Truly wireless TV. No wires, no clutter. Powered by long-lasting lithium-ion batteries that are built into the TV. So, e-waste.
Yeah, that's right.
You can also attach Displace soundbar and speakers that not only provide premium sound, but an additional 4 times battery capacity that can provide 60 hours of continuous playback.
Well, you know what provides unlimited hours of continuous playback is a very slim power cable. Yeah.
Who was asking for a wireless TV?
I don't know.
They're equipped with 4 suction cups and the revolutionary active loop vacuum technology. No drilling holes, no hassle. Wall mounting can't be easier. However, you can't angle it in any way.
No, it has to be flat on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
While Displace TVs have built-in internal speakers, they of course suck because that's the nature of all speakers in these extremely thin TVs. So you can snap together. They have like a Lego style soundbar type thing, which is bizarre.
I think of these like paper thin TVs, the best iteration is probably, is it the LG ones where the TV has none of the electronics on it? And then there's like a very slim ribbon cable.
Yeah, it just has like an umbilical cord
that goes down to the soundbar. That's probably the best option for this kind of thing.
The remote for this thing looks like an iPhone, but like not in a good way.
Cool.
And it has an AI-powered operating system.
Of course.
It's available in 2 sizes, 27-inch and 55-inch, because those are obviously the only sizes of TV that you would ever need.
Yeah.
The good news is for CES 2025, there was a special deal. All TVs are currently $1,000 off.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, get on that. I guess if you want a TV that suction cups to the wall and definitely doesn't fall down.
Only available in the USA at the moment. The purchase, so you have to reserve these.
Yeah, of course.
You have to put in a refundable deposit, which is 10% of the total price. And for the 55-inch, that is $500 US.
Yeah, it sounds right.
For the deposit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing is, with the CES 2025 discount price, this thing is 5,000 United States dollars.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
6,000 without the discount. This thing has it says here, this basically has an Intel N300 CPU in it.
Oh, okay.
32 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage.
Listen, and, you and I, we gotta get into the business of making products that exist only to extract money from rich people. It seems like it's very easy.
That's true, because this is right. Like, this is e-waste, basically.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially with the internal batteries. What is not clear to me is, okay, so it has batteries. How are you meant to recharge it? That is not.
I think they said they're hot swappable.
Okay.
Now,
so are you just meant to then like sit them on the counter and plug them in? I guess this is strange.
Like, will this battery last for the duration of Megalopolis? I don't know. Driving a big OLED like that? Maybe. I don't see it. The other interesting stuff that is not photography related. Have you seen these robot vacuums
The ones with the arm?
Well, there's two. There's one, the one from Roborock, which is a real vacuum brand that people seem to like. They've put a little arm on it, and I guess it will like pick up socks or something.
That, honestly, that is somewhat appealing to me because my dog, I love my dog, but she loves to leave toys absolutely everywhere.
Well, yeah. I don't think it's going to work, though, is the thing.
No, you don't think he's going to have the strength to pick up like a...
No, I don't. I also think that it's going to, like, that little arm comes out around a dog. The dog's just, it's gone. Oh, yeah, that arm is gone.
Yeah.
Now, the other one that actually seems practical is this dreamy X50 Ultra, which has little, like, stilts built into it, basically. So it can get over ledges.
I'm sorry. Oh.
It can pick itself up a couple of inches so that it can get up over, like, a ledge.
Oh, yes, I'm seeing that. I'm looking at a picture of this. All right.
that actually is useful.
Industry first Pro Leap system, as it,
because I've had a house before when I lived in Worcester where we had a Roomba and it could not cross the threshold between the kitchen and the living room. It was too high for it, and it just couldn't do it.
Well, as we know, all houses are all uniform, and they all have uniform floor heights across the entire floor. We all know
this.
Yeah. World's first robotic retractable legs is a heck of a sentence. Interesting, to say the least. I'm just trying to find out more about this Displace company because it appears to have sort of, come out of nowhere, I guess, 2 to 10 employees, privately held. Their founder and CEO is a guy, a serial entrepreneur.
All right, so here's maybe I'll be proven wrong in the future. Write in if I am, because I'm never going to think about this thing again. I bet this is like a drop shipped product from China.
Oh, that seems highly likely. Yeah.
They found this on Alibaba or something. They found the manufacturer and they're just like putting their own label on it.
Yeah. What I enjoy is the article from CNET about this, which I think is just like the most cringe thing ever, which is I suction cup displace TV's wireless OLED to a wall. I'll never be the same.
Oh my God.
Please
get a hobby.
Get a grip.
Please. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. People, you gotta have something better to do, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, let's do the news.
My mother jangled keys in front of me. I'll never be the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Getty Images,
we're starting off the year with corporate bullshit.
Getty Images, well-known subsumer of like all the images possible in an attempt to profit off of them, is merging with Shutterstock.
Yep.
Now Getty Images already owns iStock, so yeah.
So they'll own like 3/4 of the entire stock photo market now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool.
I'm also excited. Being a photographer of stock photos does not pay well to begin with, but like,
well, now they're going to pay nothing effectively.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Well, and they're probably going to take all of this massive library of photos and train AI with them.
I think they already are, but now they're going to take Shutterstock's too.
Right. Yeah. And then you won't. I mean, why do you need a stock photo? You can just generate something based on another stock.
And Adobe trains on Adobe stock. So,
yeah, of course.
There's no escaping it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you hear a bunch of loud banging, it's me hitting my head against the desk.
In better news, though, there's this lens company called Arta Lab from Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And they launched a knockoff of the 1.2 Noct that we talked about.
Yeah, the Nocti.
Now they've got a knockoff of a Leica Sumilux 35 1.4.
Okay,
as well,
interesting.
Which looks pretty good.
Now, see, this is, I feel like, this is interesting, right? Because these are classic lenses that are hard to get your hands on.
Right.
And someone is remaking them, and for a bit cheaper.
And I can't imagine they're that hard to reverse engineer either.
No. Yeah.
It's only like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 7 elements. 6 elements, and probably not a lot of coatings at that time. No.
So, yeah.
So Leica sells theirs for around $4,500, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is $530. So,
I like too that they're giving them fanciful names, like the Noct alike was called the Nocti No Nikkor.
Yeah.
And this one is called, instead of Sumilux, it's called the Similar.
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. I feel like they're maybe playing with fire a little bit there, but I think
they're in Hong Kong. I don't know what
the
I don't know how a German company suing a Hong Kong company will go.
I don't. Yeah, probably not successfully.
Probably not super well.
Yeah. Yashica, which is a brand that was resurrected, much like Minolta, has released new City Series point and shoots.
We've talked at length about the point and shoot revolution, and
this is not the Yashica of yore that made good cameras, because Kyocera bought them and then quit making stuff in like 2005. The name has been bought out by a drop shipping company basically, and that's what these are. These are they use a 13 megapixel Sony image sensor, a Type 1/3.06 chip, similar to those in many older mid-range smartphones.
Yeah. This is just straight up capitalizing on the craze.
Yeah, exactly.
They're terrible, and
these are probably gonna. So these are, the City 100 is $275. The City 200 is $325,
which is preposterous for this. I'm sorry.
It is, but they're also meant to be cheap enough, I guess. So, yeah.
And similarly, in this vein, Panasonic even got in on the craze of making a not very good.
We were all excited about this because Panasonic is a real camera company, and they're like, "Hey, we made a new point and shoot." And the folks at Petapixel reviewed it, and
no, they did not.
They're not impressed.
Yeah. It's the same treatment that Sony gives to the RX line. It's just like the same thing as the old one in a new body.
Right. We'd slightly change the color of gray that we use in the plastic.
I guess it has a better lens, I guess, but like it's still a tiny little camera, a tiny sensor. Like, it's disappointing. I was hoping they were going to do something actually usable here, but no.
Yeah.
It has a full manual control, but the aperture range is limited to f8. Cool.
I wouldn't call that full manual then.
I wouldn't either, no.
Do better. What is this that Godox has now? Godox,
it's CES, so Godox has a bunch of lights available.
They sure do.
This one caught my eye because it's a power bank and also a full color LED light for smartphones.
Interesting.
So it's like a MagSafe battery pack that snaps onto the back of your phone with magnets, but also it's a light panel. And also it has a front facing light. If you sort of rotate it a little bit, it also has a like selfie light as well.
That is interesting, but why do I get the sense that this will probably be able to do none of these things particularly well?
I mean, isn't Godox like a real company?
They are a real lighting company, yeah.
Yeah. All it is a battery pack with LEDs on it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is meant for someone who's if you're using this stuck to the back of your phone camera, you're not super worried about your CRI or anything anyway.
No, this is for vloggers and like influencers,
TikTokers. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, it's only $49, which isn't too bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's. It says it'll do 220 minutes of continuous output, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Godox released a bunch of light stuff. They also released some tiny little new on-camera flashes, which look kind of interesting. And then they also recently announced the V100, which is a on-camera flash that can do 100 watt seconds output, which is pretty crazy for an on-camera flash.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. Let's see what else. The ink poster. This is
we've talked about Aura frames. We each have one. I've gotten them as gifts for people. And this is a slightly different take on the Aura. Let's just get it out of the way. It's very expensive. It's like thousands of dollars.
Okay.
However,
because I was looking at it and I thought this looks interesting, but
what it is a Aura frame effectively that is e-ink.
Okay. Interesting.
So you can put photos on it, and it displays them in e-ink because I guess you can do full color e-ink now.
You sure can. It's kind of wild. Okay, yeah. So the cheapest one of these is $600. And that's a 13-inch frame, which is fairly large. But they have one that goes all the way up to 31.5 inches, which is pretty neat. I would like that, but maybe not for $1,700.
Yeah, which is a little ridiculous.
That's a lot of money. Yeah. I'll just get it. Just get an image printed
pretty cool.
Yeah.
The thing is, if this kind of thing takes off, then the price will come down.
Yeah.
I don't know of what other products even have like this e-ink display. Does anything have this thing?
I don't know.
I haven't seen any.
Maybe Amazon has a Kindle with a color display now. I don't know if it's this particular one.
I don't think it's e-ink.
Yeah.
This is Spectra 6, which seems to be pretty
vivid
new.
Full color. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
E-ink is still... It's really funny to me that e-ink got Kleenexed, by the way.
Yeah.
That they're like the brand and the name for the thing.
Yeah. Well, and I also have to admire that they like continue to work on making new and better e-ink displays, you know?
Well, I mean, everybody wants... You want a full color display that you don't have to power and that you don't have to like reprint.
Yeah.
Like every store wants this.
Right.
So there's a big market for it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two of them, I guess. There's the e-ink one and then there's the Sharp Ixo one as well.
Okay. All right.
That's their technology.
Yeah.
And you apparently this ink poster, there's one available with the Ixo technology as well, which is more expensive. So that's 28.5 inch one, which is $2,400.
Yeah,
for the Ixo. Still cool. I hope that more things like this and the Aura keep coming. Like this is displays that you can put in your house to show your pictures. Very good.
Mm-hmm. President Joe Biden has signed the Explore Act, which includes provisions to basically remove the need for permits for photographing or filming in national parks.
Pretty much nice. For groups less than 6.
Yeah. So
the thing that would happen before, if you were going to photograph or film at the national park, you had to fill out this permit thing, and then sometimes they would just reject you for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they would approve it. It was a crapshoot whether or not you could get it approved.
Yeah,
but apparently I
gather they didn't really give you a reason why it was rejected. It was just like no,
of course not. But now I guess you can just do it, and it's fine, which is great.
Which makes sense because what is the harm?
Yeah.
And also, it's the national park. It's my park.
Right.
You're telling me I can't photograph and listen. This is America.
This was this is on the top of my mind because I just got back from a trip to Big Sur, and California has a pretty liberal filming policy in their state parks. You can basically do whatever, but you go to the national parks and you're kind of out of luck, except now, which is great.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about doing engagement type shoots or things in the national park. And if you were going as a photographer, it was just you and the couple, you had to get a permit, which seems crazy.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't just go into the park?
Yeah. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
Glad that's done for.
Glad that's sorted.
This is
got here?
This is more from
the
this is from the DJI Please Sort Out Your Names department. These are DJI has a new series of industrial drones, but they're called the DJI Matrice.
I'd say Matrice.
Basically, like the word matrices, but without the S at the end. So I guess DJI Matrix, but no, this is the single of the plural matrices.
So it
DJI
has
Matrice or Matrice 4.
So it has 4 cameras on it?
It sure does.
And a laser rangefinder, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You can put lights on it. It's got a night mode thing.
Yeah, and then you can get this fancy real-time correction GPS dingus as well to
interesting
improve position accuracy and image transmission at high altitudes.
So for
This is meant for serious business, utility inspection,
right?
Search and rescue, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. There's no individuals buying this.
Yeah, which is evidenced by the fact that these things start at just shy of $5,000,
5,000,
and go up from there. So yeah.
Which I know it's a lot, but I have to say, when I was in college doing projects with drones, every drone was $5,000.
Oh yeah, right. That's how. Yeah. Well, that's thermal or 3D printers used to be insanely expensive.
Yeah, same deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're A1 Mini is $179 on sale.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like there's some on Amazon that's just take it, please.
We
don't want this.
They're not going to work particularly well, but hey.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, OM System, Olympus. Remember them? They're still around.
Mm-hmm.
They got on their website. Their CEO got on their website and did a blog and said, we have a new camera, multiple lenses arriving, quote, shortly.
Okay.
So that could be interesting.
It could be. It could be nothing. we don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm excited to find out, I guess.
I mean, I'm glad that they're trying, right?
Yeah.
They're trying. But
yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I want you to know the vision of OM System brand for camera and audio equipment is to provide enriching sound and imaging experiences that contribute to the experience of life outdoors for everyone across the world.
Oh, is that it?
So there you go. As we look forward to the future of the camera business, we will provide more options for compact, lightweight, splash, and dust-proof products to expand photographic horizons for our customers. So I'm pretty sure they're coming out with a new version of their Olympus Tough model.
Probably
is what that means.
And maybe some
which is I'm guessing
lenses.
Yeah, I'm guessing that particular camera is one of their big sellers because there just aren't that many of those kinds of cameras out there, and they make a decent one. My mom wanted an underwater camera for when she went to the Virgin Islands, and she got an Olympus. And you know what? It works pretty well for that.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest. Yeah. Yeah, well, because they're on the TG7, so, TG8 win, that sort of thing. Yeah. You know what, Olympus, good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck. I don't know.
And then I thought this was interesting. This is from data from Map Camera, one of the largest photography retailers in Japan.
Hey, I've bought stuff from them on eBay.
publishes annual breakdown of the 10 best-selling cameras of the year. Let's see. 5 of the 10 highest-selling cameras debuted in 2024. The best-selling camera was the Fuji X100
Yep, that makes sense.
The second was the XT50. And then fifth position was the Nikon Z6 III.
Sixth position.
Yeah.
I'm seeing here.
Oh.
Sony A7C III is third.
Yeah.
That's odd. Yeah. ZF is fourth, which is pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And then Nikon, the most sold lenses are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Nikon's 24-120 is number one. Which makes sense, I guess. That's a pretty versatile
it's a good
lens. Yeah. And it's cheap, it's $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then Tamron's 28-200 is second. That also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's a very, very nice lens, and I wish they made one for Nikon because I would buy that.
Yeah.
But they don't.
The top 3 best-selling used cameras this year were the Sony A7 III, Nikon ZF A, and the original Canon EOS R5. Some other interesting observations are that the OM system OM1 cracked the list, finishing 10th. While the Ricoh GR3, took 7th place, remains extremely popular. So there's certain of these camera companies that have like one model that's keeping them afloat, is what it seems like.
It sure does, yeah. And I don't know if that's bad. I mean,
yeah,
if you keep supporting it, that's fine.
Right. You gotta find your niche, And right now a good niche is like rugged and or compact cameras.
Yeah.
High quality ones anyway.
But also, like, I don't know. Look at Nikon, right? They have a whole bunch of cameras, but really there's 2. Really, there's the 24 megapixel one and the 47 megapixel one.
Yeah, right. It's just a matter of how big it is.
Which specific features do you want?
Right.
But the camera itself, there's really only a couple of them.
Yeah, right.
So I think having one that you really put all your effort into makes sense.
Right. Well, next you're going to tell me that, lots of cars are just the same underneath too.
Oh no.
So
don't talk about how the best selling GM EV is the Honda Prologue.
Yeah.
I keep seeing those around here. They look kind of weird, but I kind of
they look very bulbous.
I like the colors that they're available in.
They do have some interesting colors. That is true.
I have also been seeing Volkswagen ID Buzzes, and I want one.
Oh, interesting.
Very badly.
I saw, this is relevant to photography because I saw it at the camera store, a Polestar 3.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How's that?
It's, it's really nice. It's a nice looking vehicle.
I really wish that they had shipped when my lease was expiring so I could have gotten the one that I had reserved. But they didn't, and I needed a car. So,
alas,
I'll get one next time, probably.
Yeah.
Unless Volvo...
I considered the Prologue, but they, they also weren't going to be out when my So
if Volvo comes and says, "Hey, we want to buy out your lease early because we need used vehicles," I'll say, "Yeah, give me a deal on a Polestar, and we'll talk."
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yep.
So, when you're doing photography, you need to edit the photos typically, right?
I've heard this, and I've yet to see any evidence of it, but I have heard this.
Well, in the digital world, at least, you need to edit them. Right. And when you're doing that, you might use something like a monitor. So it's time for monitor watch.
Okay. Make use of a device called a computer. Now listen carefully, 007. It's called a computer. You can use it to edit photographs.
So CES. One thing about displays in general and monitor panels is new ones only come out at CES.
Yeah, they only come out once a year.
That is the only time that any new monitors come out, and if the one that you want hasn't come out, it's not.
Once a year, just like corpse flowers or whatever.
That's right. So if the monitor
a lot of them are
want,
also dead on arrival, much like
completely accurate, yeah. If the one that you're hoping for doesn't exist, you got to wait until January of the next year to have a hope that it might.
Yeah, you got to sit on your hands. Yeah.
And so I've been looking because I have a studio display.
Monitor technology has gotten interesting because for a while there, you basically had what you're going to get is a 1080p LCD of a size between 20 to 27 inches.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was 90% of monitors.
And maybe you could get a bigger one.
Other than that, yeah.
Maybe you could get one that was 16 by 10 if you were lucky, right?
You get like a 32 inch that was 1440p.
Yeah. Something like that.
But also, I'm thinking, like late 2000s, early 2010s, like none of these were calibrated at all.
God, no.
As well.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you wanted it calibrated, you're spending like $4,000.
Yeah.
For a ViewSonic.
It's like, listen, we didn't turn this thing on before we put it in the box. That's
you get dead pixels all the time.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty regular that you'd open a monitor and some of the pixels don't work just out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been looking for a new monitor.
You have.
Because I have a studio display. It's fine. I would like something bigger, and I would like something that can do HDR.
Now, the studio display is a 27-inch, right?
27-inch 5K.
27-inch 5K. That's one more K than you typically get at that.
It is one more K. So I'm an insufferable Mac user. One thing about if you're not an Apple user,
many such cases.
All Apple displays are calibrated and sized such that objects appear to be roughly the same size no matter what display they're on.
Yeah.
That's how they work. So there's a certain PPI that you want on a monitor so that things show up in the correct size. So Apple calls that Retina these days. The meaning of Retina varies, but
don't they have like Super Retina or whatever? Yeah, like Ultra,
the iPhones have like 3X modes and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
right.
For Macs and for monitors, that means at 27 inches it should be 5K. That's what that means. At 32 inches it should be 6K. 24 inches it's 4K. Like that's how it's supposed to be. Right. And for a very long time, the only option for a 5K display at all,
the singular option,
was this terrible LG that they called the Ultrafine.
I own one. It
was really bad.
Not a good monitor. I got to be honest with you. Yeah,
it's quite bad. And then Apple came out with the Studio display, which is basically the same thing except it actually works.
Right.
And honestly, it's pretty good. Like as a monitor, it does what it says. It wakes up quickly. It's not it's not an energy hog. It doesn't make a lot of noise. Like doesn't have a big fan in there. Like it's fine. And it's color accurate as well. But monitors have moved on.
Yeah, and you can also pretty much only use that with a Mac. So I
did get it working with Windows. It works fine.
Okay.
As long as your PC has Thunderbolt, it'll work if you just plug it in.
Well, see, now there's the
problem, right?
Yeah.
Fortunately, my gaming PC motherboard supported Thunderbolt as long as you got the correct add-in card. Which took me 2.5 years to find that add-in card because it was just perpetually out of stock everywhere.
Yeah.
But I got one and it works fine.
Well, you kept buying the new bus card, but you needed to buy an ISA card instead. And
yeah. Really, really put me out.
Yeah.
But monitor technology has evolved. The Studio display is still an IPS, regular old LCD panel. It's a pretty good one, but it's still LCD. So last year I bought a 32-inch Alienware curved OLED, which is a QD OLED 4K at 32 inches. It's very, very good.
We love the OLED displays.
However, for Mac users, nope, everything is wrong. The scaling is wrong. The sizing is wrong. No matter what you do, not a very good experience for Mac. So I've repurposed that one. That's now my gaming monitor. And for that purpose, whew, beautiful.
Well, it is an Alienware. You would expect that.
But it works great. It's 240 hertz. You get HDR. You get everything. It's wonderful. But, after trying an OLED for my main computer, I'm like, well, I kind of miss that, the colors, the blacks, all good. The high refresh rate would be nice. The bigger size even, the 32 inches, that was pretty good.
Because the studio display is it 60 or 120 hertz?
60.
Just 60, yeah.
Apple currently does not sell any desktop displays higher than 60 hertz. The only displays they have are the phones, the iPads, and the laptop screen.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, at the high end of the market where Apple is, to be only 60 hertz is weird.
It's very strange. The studio display is like $1,600 new. Yeah, you can get 240 hertz monitors for like $300 now.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
So yeah, it's not a good deal anymore.
Yeah.
But so here's the ideal that I want. I want a 6K display that has high refresh rate and has HDR. That's what I want.
So what you want is peace in the Middle East.
Right, exactly. So I'm willing to settle.
Solving world hunger. Yeah.
Most important to me is getting 6K 32 inches of all of those things.
Yeah.
And color accuracy. I have to have color accuracy as well.
Yeah.
This year at CES, we have a couple of interesting options that have come out. It seems like basically there's 2 new panels, and of those 2 new panels, there's like 8 monitors that have come, but it's the same panels as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So there is now a 6K display from Asus, the well-named Pro Art Display 6K PA32QCV.
Yeah, the only folks who have a better talent for naming their monitors than Asus is Acer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So this one is 6K at 32 inches. It's the right resolution. It does VESA display HDR 600. It does factory calibrated to Delta E of less than 2. 98% of DCI-P3, et cetera, et cetera. So this looks like a pretty good option. And supposedly it's going to be somewhere in the studio display pricing range, under $2,000, like $1,600, that area, which is pretty reasonable for this. Because the only other competition in the 6K area is from Dell. And that one is apparently not very good and also like $3,500.
Yeah. And this also has a nice built-in USB hub and stuff, too.
Built-in USB hub, daisy-chainable Thunderbolts, which is also very nice. So I can keep my studio display and just plug it into this thing and daisy-chain them, and it should work.
Nice.
It also will do... I think it supports, calibration if you, plug in a CalMan or whatever.
But it doesn't have the little thing that pops up. I know some...
No, they didn't add the little pop-up thing that Dell has. It does also have something
which seems like a little Star Wars drone popping out, please wait. Calibrating.
It does have something that is also nice for Mac users, which is it has built-in ambient light sensors and backlight sensors, so it can do it'll do apparently both the brightness and color temperature, auto brightness and what do they call it on Mac? True tone. So I guess it'll do that on its own, which is pretty good. Because that's one thing that the Alienware OLED did not do that drove me nuts was the auto brightness.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one looks pretty good. There's an additional one that looks like basically the same thing with the same panel from LG, which is the LG Ultrafine 6K. Although given the experience with the previous LG, I don't know about
LG is and the other thing that I noticed about this is that the stand for this thing looks as ridiculous as the Apple stand.
Yeah. So the LG one is a complete ripoff of the studio display.
Yeah.
It just it looks like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The one thing, though, that the LG caught my eye with is that it uses Thunderbolt 5, which is only interesting because
it's one better than 4.
Well, in theory, you could do 6K at 120 hertz over Thunderbolt 5.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't do it over Thunderbolt 4.
In theory, yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Not a lot of details have come out about the LG one yet.
I'm sorry, I do just have to interrupt for some breaking news here. RCA has new camouflage TVs that are designed, they're IP55 rated, they're designed for outdoor use, and they have bezels finished with camo patterns.
The Radio Corporation of America?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
These dust and water resistant TVs are designed to be used outdoors, even when temperatures drop to minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow, these start at $4,000 US.
Are incredibly expensive, but if you have no taste,
okay,
yeah,
good for them. These are going to be sold at like Bass Pro Shops, I bet.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's in
Cabela's, yeah.
It's in partnership with Mossy Oak, the camouflage company. Yeah.
See, they should have they should have teamed up with Realtree for these. I gotta get my Realtree TV. See, funny. This is why CES is one of the best weeks, because there is just some totally bonkers stuff that it's like, you spent money developing that, you're not gonna make it back.
No,
I'm sorry.
I would say,
you're not making
I don't know,
on investment.
90% of the stuff that gets shown at CES never comes out. It just disappears. All these weird startups doing crazy stuff that just nobody ever sees again.
Yeah. Oh, hey, at Nikon's booth, they have a mock-up of what the Z9 will be enclosed in for its trip to the moon. It's a fancy little it basically is like in its own little tote bag, almost, is what it looks like.
Huh. That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the other display panel that's come out, which I'm excited about, but I'm not sure. I don't know. This is the other option. Is a 27-inch 4K QD OLED panel from Samsung, I believe.
Okay.
There's a couple of monitors with this panel. There's a MSI one. There's a Asus one. I think there's an Alienware one as well.
Now, how does this vary from your current one?
So what varies is that it's 27 inches and not 32.
Oh, okay. So slightly smaller. So the yeah.
So the scaling is better.
Yeah. And
I used a 4K 27-inch monitor with my Mac for quite a while, scaled at 5K mode, and
I'm using some right now.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, especially if you're looking at, text all day and not doing anything else, but like it works. It's fine.
Next, you're going to tell me that sitting at my desk all day is unhealthy.
Well, right. And especially with the way that these QD OLEDs work, the pixel arrangement is different than LCDs. So the 4K resolution, it's not strictly, 4096 pixels across.
Yeah.
It's slightly more than that in certain ways. Like the pixel arrangement is weird. So this is the other option. And these are, I guess this one supports up to 500 hertz refresh rate at 2K, which is insane.
Oh boy. Yeah.
But you have to bring the resolution down to 2K to go to 500 hertz, I guess.
Yeah. I can imagine. That's a lot of data to push very quickly.
The only problem with these really is that all of them are like gamer monitors.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's not one that's just like normal looking.
Yeah, a normal 4K OLED for normal people. Yeah.
And I will say, the Alienware that I have is pretty normal looking. It doesn't have like an Alienware. If you didn't know it was Alienware and just looked at it from the front, it doesn't have any like markings or anything.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say that this Asus ROG, like the stand screams, absurd. I am a gamer.
The stand has a light projector that projects the ROG logo onto your desk as well.
I see that.
Yeah.
That's maybe the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's insane. So yeah. So these are the two options that I'm looking at. One of these two panels. Okay. And I don't know what will happen. I'm kind of waiting to see availability and reviews.
That's see, this is the other thing is like they announce these monitors at CES and then sometimes they don't release them until like October. And it's like, well, what was the point?
So the OLEDs, if it's like last year, the Alienware OLED will come out in like March.
Yeah.
That one tends to come out. I don't know why this is the case, but the Alienware ones always seem to come out first in these OLED monitors. And then the others follow. I don't know what kind of deal. Because even, the Alienware comes out before the Samsung one, and it's a Samsung display.
Mm-hmm.
Like the panel is Samsung, so who knows? There is also apparently there's another OLED as well, which is a 5K 2K OLED at 45 inches.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
So an ultra wide.
Ultra wide, yeah.
Yeah.
LG Ultra Gear.
And this is one of those ones that are
Metal Gear.
A weapon to surpass Ultra Gear. This is one of those ones that's bendable, apparently.
Oh yeah, because that's well, I saw that. Corsair had one that like you could bend it for whatever reason. I don't see a need for that, but good luck to you.
Frankly, I don't like the curved monitor.
Yeah,
for work,
Samsung
for gaming, it's okay. But
Samsung Smart Monitor M9 monitor with a built-in OS. No, thank you.
Oh yeah,
not what I need my monitor to do.
So the reason I won't buy the Samsung monitors is that they're basically Tizen TVs. Like they put their TV operating system.
Which I don't.
I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't want that at all.
And then they had down here towards the bottom the LG Stand By Me 2, which is a 27-inch monitor with a built-in battery. LG thinks it will have equal appeal as much to people who need a large portable display for conferences as it will to people who want a way to have a movie night at a campsite. But that's a fairly large monitor to schlep around,
Yeah.
It's an odd one.
It is odd. Like, I understand
the portable monitor. The portable monitor market is taking off, but I think 27 inches is too large for portable monitor. Sorry.
So, yeah. I think in general they're good. It's a good idea, but
yes.
Yeah, that's too big.
Well, I have one at work that's like a 16-inch 1440p, and it's pretty good actually. Yeah. It works well for
And then, of course, you could buy the Apple Pro Display XDR if you're insane.
You could do that.
27-inch or 32-inch 6K with mini LED local dimming zones and whatnot.
Yeah, I want to be clear. You should not do that.
No, you shouldn't. It's $5,000 starting price, and it doesn't come with a stand. At $5,000.
That's If you want to stand, you have to add either $500 or $1,000.
No, it's $1,000 for the stand or $179 for the VESA mount. They made it cheaper.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to VESA mount it, it's less expensive now.
Yeah, but then you don't get the the fancy
you don't
stand
get the cool
features.
Stand. No.
Anyway.
Yeah.
End of CES content.
We'll see what I do. I'm gonna get one of these. I just don't know which one.
Yeah. Stay tuned for future installments of Monitor Watch 2K25. This I wanted to share because it's insanely cute. There's a photographer who did a little photo shoot of rescue cats. They're adorable. They're very good. Yeah,
babies.
There's one here who is on wheels. Very good.
Very good.
Has like a little parka on. Yeah.
I see the naked cat in a sweater. That's good.
Yeah. A lot of these cats just are looking pretty distinguished,
This is a coffee table book, it looks like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I will order one because it is only
I'm just looking at Lucille here. Very, very pretty cat.
I like cats. I want one to show up. People talk about the cat distribution system. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Well,
I need the cat
you're
to show
tempting
up at my
fate
house.
now, I'm afraid.
I welcome it.
I
Show
welcome
up
the
to my
cat
house,
distribution
cats.
system and urge it to go further.
We have neighborhood cats, but they're terrified of me.
Yeah.
They just run away.
That's common with the neighborhood cats.
I know it is.
Yeah.
We just got lucky because when we moved in, the neighbors' cats, which were neighborhood cats, were so friendly.
Yeah.
I would find one of them in the garage regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was going into your house if you let her.
Yeah. Finally, I thought you would enjoy this because you can declare, victory, flawless victory. No camera has received better free firmware than the Nikon Z9.
That's accurate.
Yep.
It's like a completely different camera now.
Yeah.
Than it was.
Yeah.
Which
the list of
makes
features
sense.
and updates and improvements, truncated as it is with each new release, is very lengthy.
Yeah. They like every time I read through the feature releases, there's tons of stuff that they put in there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it makes sense. I think that more of these cameras should be doing this because like the thing that people would do before is in order to release firmware changes, you'd have to make a whole new model.
Right.
Even if it was the same sensor.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make a sufficiently powerful camera, you don't have to do that.
Right.
You can just update it.
Yeah. And
Fuji also is pretty good at this.
We've reached the point where they're sort of running out of things to add, to be honest, because
yeah.
They their initial things, they added internal 12-bit raw video recording, oversampled 4K 60, pre-release photo capture, a real red recording frame indicator, waveform monitoring, new video info display, improved manual control, yada yada yada. And so they've added a whole bunch of stuff, and now we're at the point where, like we discussed I think last time, where they added shutter angle control.
Right.
which is cool for videographers, but it's like, okay.
Yeah, what
and the camera to cloud stuff. Yeah, right. So
I hope they continue with this because if this is the way that they're going to treat it, then buying a new Z8 Mark II or a Z9 Mark II will be a pretty good deal for people.
Yeah.
If you trust that Nikon is going to continue to update their camera with new features over many years, that's a much more appealing purchase. And
crucially, these were all free firmware updates.
Yep,
and
all free.
We've talked about companies, other camera companies that charge money for their firmware updates, banal and pathetic as they may be. So, yeah.
Has Nikon ever charged for a firmware update? I don't think they have.
Yeah. Nikon has thus far not charged you to be able to add some lines to the screen. Yeah. So
yeah, but even
if
then,
they do,
Nikon I think has
new one, but
I think they've replaced the autofocus algorithm on this camera like 3 times at this point.
Yeah,
it's completely different than it was when I bought it.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah, lots of autofocus updates. Lots of
the plane modes, the animal modes, vehicle modes, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's pretty
a good model for other companies to follow.
Yes, everyone else. I mean, Fuji
directly
also
into
does.
camera. Yeah,
Fuji does this too. They're pretty good at this as well.
Yeah, but other companies not so much.
Yeah, they
get
do better
on Nikon's level.
Do better.
Yeah. Well, that is our news heavy episode for this week. Tune in next week where we might have a CES hangover or something like that.